right, let me just make sure it shows up here. It's working. There it is. All right.
We're live.
All right. Hold on. Let me just make sure we're good. Wait, why won't it share? Oh, there it is. There we go. Hey, everyone. 1 second. All right.
Are we live?
We are live.
All right.
Why won't it share? Oh, I gotta mute this. There we go. Hey, everyone. 1 second. You're right. I should have muted it to begin with. There we go. All right. Make sure I can see the comments. Wait, why can't I see it? All right. Welcome. And welcome all of you to yet another exciting episode of 10 Minutes with Ronald, the show that nobody asked for, yet somebody is watching. Let me just make sure we're good here. Play here so we can see it. All right. What up, Chris? Haven't seen you in a while. Chris McGraw is watching.
Oh, cool. What's up, man?
All right. Does anybody... Oh, put my glasses on. Oh, messed up. All right. Here we go. So, how have you been? How's your day going?
It's been an okay day.
No problems?
No problems today.
Okay. So you got your nice shirt painted on?
Yeah.
A little bit of shade. It's all good. Let me know, Marilyn, if there's any types of issues with sound or anything like that. And it's been a couple of weeks since I've done one of these. We took last week off, but we're back now. And I'm glad to have my good friend Jahleel Hudson. Tell them a little about yourself, Jahleel.
My name is Jahleel Hudson. I'm from Brooklyn, New York. Went to Hayfield Secondary, like some of you guys there. I graduated from Howard in 2006 with a degree in mechanical engineering, and I work for the Department of Energy as an engineer.
That's really impressive. You sound like a very smart person. So we wanted to talk. I talked to you last time during the worst week ever in July when 2 black men were killed by the police officers. 2 unarmed black men were killed by, well, they were armed, but under murky circumstances, black men were killed by the police.
Yeah.
That was the last conversation we had. Since then, Colin Kaepernick has come out and said that he's going to protest because he thinks this has been happening a little bit too often.
Yes.
So he started sitting down for the national anthem,
Yeah.
which started a wave of protest amongst athletes where everyone's kneeling, sitting, or laying down, taking a nap, eating a bag of chips for the national anthem.
I think it's now kneeling and then like the raised fist.
Yeah, now the Black Power fist is back. So just to talk to you a little bit about, first of all, what are your thoughts on the protest itself?
On Colin's protest?
Yeah.
Oh, I think it was great. You know, I thought that Colin, came out with something unique. And, as an NFL player, to sit down, I thought that said a lot because, the NBA is, for all intents and purposes, a black league, but the NFL is not. And so for Colin to take that stand, in the NFL where there's more of this, old conservative white money, I thought that was bold. And I like how he did it, and he didn't, call attention to it. He just did it. And I think what was more impressive is that I've watched a lot of interviews of Colin after the fact where people, pepper him with questions, trying to find fault in what he's saying. And Colin has stood strong. He stood strong in the pocket.
He definitely has.
He stood tall in the pocket.
All right. Sports metaphor.
Yeah. He's a quarterback, right?
Yeah, well, you got to go with him. Go for it.
So, yeah, I mean, I applaud it.
I think you pointed out something about the NFL being not a black league. And I think that actually, I've never thought of that before, because with the NBA, you definitely have not only a black league, but the fan base is always a little more diverse, I would say.
Yes.
It's not necessarily, I would say, people that like the NFL, there are, I would say, a lot of white folks that love watching football. I'd say there are a lot of white folks that like watching the NBA, but I feel like not as many are as dedicated to
Well,
it.
when I say that the NBA is a black league versus the NFL, I'm not talking about the fans. Clearly, America's sport is football, and then it's basketball. I'm talking about
Some baseball fans will be upset you said that.
Baseball's not American sport.
Okay.
I'm talking about the athletes and the structure. When you look at basketball, the athletes are black. The star athletes are black, right? And then we have quite a few black coaches now coming in, and we have one black owner, and so it's more diverse. When you look at football, football is 70% black, but when you look at who gets a lot of these ads, for a while, it was all white. Football centered around the quarterback.
Yeah.
And for a long time, they weren't really this mobile quarterback, this black quarterback. You had your McNabb here, you had your McNair there, but they weren't getting the deals. It's not until recently you see Cam Newton now and Russell Westbrook.
Absolutely.
But, for a while, I was looking on the TV and it was just like, oh, wow, it's like all white players. And that's nothing to say, but that's who that's who was pushed. Every time for a while, when you look at MVP talk, for all the players of color in the league, it boiled down to like three, Peyton, Brady, Drew Brees. You're like, and then you look at the ownership, exclusively white. Yeah. And very conservative.
But I would say that that's important also for the fan base, because if you look at the fan base that's watching, most of them look at it as NFL or as football as just an middle American, like, this is just American, this is our thing. And if you think about it, think about all the incidents that black athletes get into trouble when they do things that black athletes do, like when they talk trash, when Richard Sherman said that thing and they started, hey, we're out there acting like a thug. And it's like, come on, man.
Put your head down, do it this way.
Yeah, exactly.
They didn't want any showboat. Remember, for a while, that when T.O. and Ochocinco were getting fined for the celebrations all the time.
Absolutely. And now the NFL has become the no fun league, where no one they don't want them doing any types of dancing or celebration. It seems like there's a big clampdown on what black athletes are doing in sports to begin with, but now there's this huge black backlash to what Colin Kaepernick is doing in protest.
Yes.
So that being said, here he has all this backlash coming, and here we have this week, I believe it was yesterday or the day before, we have this incident where Terence Crutcher in Tulsa, Oklahoma, his car breaks down the side of the road, he calls for help, and he ends up dead. What were your first thoughts when you heard about this?
I was kind of shocked and in disbelief. My honest first thought was, I don't want to see this again. Not again. It was like, not again. I was scrolling through my news feed late at night. I was like, no, I can't do this. I can't do this. Now that, I woke up in the morning, it took some energy. There were coworkers at my job that were shaken up. Just people just kind of like, what, like why? Like, I don't, what's the point? Yeah. And I felt like that. I can't say that I'm angry, because I'm not an angry person just by nature, but I'm disheartened. I'm disheartened. I'm very disheartened with America. Yeah.
I feel like with this one, I didn't feel as much. I felt like I lost a lot of my feelings with the ones in July, but after that one, like between that and the Pulse nightclub and all of these, and sometimes I even forget. It's funny. There's so many shootings happening that I'm forgetting about them. Yeah. Like, I actually completely forgot about Pulse nightclb until I'm like sitting here thinking like, oh wait, there was this massive shooting to another minority group. You know what I mean? In the middle of the or at the end of the summer. So it seems like there's no getting away from it. But my feelings towards this one, like you said, last night I heard about it, but I didn't watch it until this morning. Yeah. And then when I watched it again, I was just like, it's not even like, I don't even feel shock or anger anymore. It's just like, why? It's almost like when they make another Fast and the Furious movie. And I'm like, why am I watching this again? But I keep watching them and it keeps happening. I'm like, I guess this is it now,
So, it was a rough one. Yeah. It was a rough one. Do you want to go in that direction, or you were still talking about, a little bit about the protest leading up to this?
Oh no, we're into it. Wherever we go, we go.
So here's let's talk about the protests leading up to it. I had said from the beginning that Colin Kaepernick's protest did not offend people.
Oh,
it was
absolutely.
a black person doing a protest that offended people.
Absolutely.
Hence the vitriol and the back to your country statements.
Yeah.
So, secondly, there are people, a lot of these news outlets, when they covered it, they didn't even cover the issue. They were like, well, who's going to knee? It was like knee-gate. Who's going to knee? Who's going to knee? We're going to do this. We're going to do that. And then you had other groups that didn't really protest, but they try to like move the conversation elsewhere. Like the Seahawks were like, we're just doing a unity thing.
Yeah.
That to me was so weak.
Yeah.
It was so weak.
Yeah.
Let's address the issue.
Yeah.
Last night I hear on I'm an Eagles fan. I'm watching the Eagles game, and they're talking about
the Black Power fist.
But did you hear what the lady commentator say? Yes, we have 3 Eagles who are going to protest for perceived injustices among black people. Yes, she said that. That rubbed me the wrong way.
Maybe she didn't know what perceived means.
No.
Maybe she doesn't. Perceived is a difficult word. That's an SAT word. Maybe she doesn't know what perceived means. Perception.
There have been people who have said things on TV. I've heard far less said about women and the homosexual community, and those people have been pulled off the air, whether they've been fired or suspended.
Yeah.
And we have people who have said things far more egregious or equally as egregious.
Yeah.
Who are still on the air.
Also true.
Trent Dilfer and his.
Oh, Trent Dilfer.
And his. We're going to deny that even happened and take your back seat and you're a backup quarterback.
Yeah.
How did he show up again
And
the
then
following
Randy
week?
Moss gave him the look.
How was he there the following week?
No idea.
No
idea.
It's it was I was crazy. I'm like, people are really saying this on TV.
Yeah.
They're talking about soldiers. And the thing is, like, everybody wants to group people as a monolith, but no one's a monolith. For every one military person who felt offended, I can find you an equal military person who was not offended.
At one point, it felt like there were more that weren't.
And then you got people who weren't even in the military trying to tell us that the military was offended.
Yeah.
It's the equivalent of me telling you how women feel about these things.
Yeah.
I'm not a woman.
Exactly.
You're not a woman.
Exactly.
Let's hear it from a woman.
Yeah. Let's bring a woman into this discussion. Yeah.
It was crazy. They're experts on all these things, how the military feel. Oh, we're disrespecting the flag. And I'm sitting here like, so we're going to talk about the flag. And how all of these military people said, I'm cool with it. How Colin and company said, I'm cool with it. Has a teammate who is a veteran said, you know what, let's adjust this. Let's take a knee instead of sitting down to show respect and to show a little bit of, disenchantment. Let's do a compromise. He came to the aid. And people still talked about, you had coaches that were like our bench players. You had people come out. One white athlete. Megan Rapinoe comes out.
Yeah.
Where are these other white athletes?
Yeah.
Where's the Tom Brady's? Where are these athletes who, football, everybody wants to say that football is a total team sport. We're all a family. We're all about family. Fine. If you're all about family, then why are you not standing with your brother?
I mean, it would be nice to see an Aaron Rodgers, a Tom Brady, or any of these guys come forward. How did you feel about Jerry Rice recanting his statement from earlier? So I don't know if you heard this, and maybe some of the viewers did. Yeah. And I see all of you guys. I see what you're saying. We're going to get to your comments in 1 second. Yeah. But I saw he said basically that all lives matter. When Colin Kaepernick said his piece, that he said that he should respect the flag. Today he pointed out, thanks Colin Kaepernick for taking a stand on what you believe in and drawing attention to this issue. In which he got dragged on Twitter for this because everyone was like, oh, word, you go pull out All Lives Matter, but now this happens. Yeah. And the worst part about it, I think, that always makes me upset is that it always takes someone dying before people change their position.
Well, this thing about some athletes, and they say a lot of times, not every athlete is qualified to speak.
Oh, absolutely.
Just because you're a great wide receiver, maybe the greatest of all time, don't mean you were qualified to speak.
Absolutely.
Rodney Harrison came out and was like, hey, man, he's not even black. And they had to walk that one back.
Rodney Harrison.
So, you have these sound bites from, some of these athletes and they walk it back. I will say this. Sometimes they're focused on their brand. I kind of feel that way about Cam Newton. 6 months ago, Cam Newton says, they fear me because I'm a black quarterback.
He said it. We all heard him. You all heard. Oh, there it goes. We good? Yeah, we're good. Are we good?
All right, go.
Wait, is it good? No, we're still frozen. Hold on. There we go. Should still be going. Are we good?
Yeah, good.
Is it unfrozen?
It's
There we go.
unfrozen.
There we go. We're good. We're good. We're back. We're back.
Yeah.
Calm down. We're back. We're back. We're back. We lost like 10 viewers for that, though. I hate you, technology.
Oh man.
But no, I honestly don't think that. I don't think that Cam Newton would have been benched. I think this is what I'm saying. There have to be like it can't just be the second string quarterbacks of the world that are starting movements.
Yeah.
Like we need. Like, for instance, when Arian Foster did something, they're like, oh, snap, this is Arian Foster. And Arian Foster's, like, falling down a little bit.
Yeah.
But he does something, they talk to him. So I think it's important that marquee athletes that have the spotlight, like Muhammad Ali, like Jim Brown, like Tommy Smith and Carlos.
John Carlos.
Yeah, John Carlos. Like, the people that have it, they can actually do something because people will listen to those athletes.
It's true.
And they won't just look at college. I had an argument with a friend of mine who said, well, I think he's only doing this to get his star back on the rise. I'm like, this seems like a very risky way to do that because you're only going to lose endorsements this way.
The NFL is not one of those. They don't like distractions. The NFL, every other leagues, but the NFL, they'll drop you. You know,
there's no money in social justice either. That's what I don't think people understand.
I want to know what the NBA is going to do.
Oh, first of all, LeBron, I'm sure, is chomping at the bit. Because LeBron will follow a movement to begin. He had the I Can't Breathe T-shirts. He had Miami and hoodies. He's been giving money to send black kids to college. Like he's going after it. So I'm pretty sure that there's some athletes that are thinking right now, they're watching this, especially the ones that just saw this shooting. Yeah. And they're going to say it's time for us to take a stand.
I'm ready for this though, Ron. This is what I'm ready for.
Okay.
Megan Rapinoe took a knee. Soccer made a statement. All these NFL players, coaches make statements. All their statements keep saying, "We don't condone. You know, we don't disrespect the flag. We don't disrespect America. That's not our position. This is the athlete position." I'm waiting for when somebody takes a knee for the organization to come out and say, "We support. We don't condone injustice." To a segment of the population. Yeah. I mean, you know, you saw San Francisco, the owner donated some money. I think another team donated some money. But, like, where is the statement? Like, when Megan Rapinoe took a knee for U.S. soccer, and I was like, all right, you know, as a soccer player, I was like, okay, what are we going to do? Yeah. Where, you know, we don't condone. Oh, we're just going to bypass the whole injustice thing. I'm waiting for a team, and we have people who are pulled sponsorships. Yeah. You know? Like, I'm waiting for some of these companies to make a statement. I'm waiting for like a McDonald's. McDonald's has spent a lot of money advertising the black community.
They sure have.
They spent a lot of money in the United Negro College Fund. Yeah. Like McDonald's has really, they've really said, you know what, we're actually going to put money in the community. Serve us bad food, but still it is what it is. Granted, you can't put money in communities of people you're trying to kill. McDonald's to make a McDonald's per se to make a statement saying, you know, we're a sponsor of the league and we feel that you know, injustice, you know, somewhere is an injustice everywhere, you know, expected justice everywhere, something like that. Give me an MLK line. It's a double standard for McDonald's to do that because they are pumping toxins. They're pumping toxins into every lower income community in the United States. But you get what I'm saying. I understand what you're saying, but I feel like McDonald's needs to fix themselves before they can fix anybody else. That being said, so more on the shooting itself. Where do you so in comparison to the other ones, how do you feel about this one as far as what you've seen on Facebook? Like, what's your first thought on this one? This one was bad. I mean, every time a shooting happens, we play I'll wait for somebody to justify the shot. This one was bad. Here you have it. Your car breaks down in the middle of the road. My first thing is, why did they have the guns? Okay, granted, I read a report that they were actually going to another call and this was in the road and they might have thought it was 2 and 2. You know, they probably thought it was the same thing, you know, this guy must be with that guy and so forth, right? Yep. Whatever. Still, it's a broken down car. If my car breaks down the road and I see cops, I'm not expecting guns. No. You shouldn't. So they come up 4 deep with the guns. But the guy's hands are up. Yeah. He's tasered. He's shot. Yeah. His hands are up the entire time. There's, you know, for instance, look at Oscar Grant. Oscar Grant was handcuffed. In cuffs on his face. On his face. But Oscar Grant, although he was handcuffed on his face, he did kind of like talk, and he kind of like, you know, so we could see how, I don't see it, but you know.
Yeah, I was going to say, what was he going to pull
you
a
know,
gun?
their excuse was like.
Out of the handcuffs?
He was still moving, you know, so I was going to tase him.
Well, he wasn't dead yet, so we had to kill him.
That's what the cop said. The cop said that he was still moving, and he was going to tase him, but he pulled out the wrong gun. He pulled out his gun, not his taser gun, and that's how he shot him. So all I'm saying is, okay, with Oscar Grant, that was your excuse. I don't like the excuse. It's garbage.
Yeah.
But that was the excuse. He got 2 years, right?
Yeah.
Now we're looking at this guy. It was slow movements.
Yeah.
Slow, deliberate movements.
Yeah.
Slow.
Yeah.
Hands up.
Yeah.
Hands up.
Yeah.
The entire time.
Even with him walking away, they were still very much in control of that situation.
The entire time.
Yeah.
Hands up. Literally the entire time. You know, this case I was as egregious, but not because it was a survivor. Remember the guy in South Florida who was with the autistic patient?
Yeah.
And he's got his hands up, and he's telling the officers, "Hey, officers, you can put your guns down."
Yeah, he's
this
autistic.
guy, Ramon, whoever his guy's name is, autistic.
Yep.
And he's like, "Calm down, calm down." And then the cop shoots him, and he's like, "Why'd you shoot me?" And the cop's like, "I don't know."
I don't think they ever know. You know, I had a conversation with my friend earlier today. He was talking about bias, and he was talking about he think that basically what leads me to believe is that there is really a legit fear of black men. Like they think that they can do anything. And my thought is, he's walking slowly back to the car.
Yeah.
There's 4 of you. You clearly have control of the situation. His car's in the middle of the road. Was he going to get his registration, his ID? And everybody's mind, they're like, well, we can't wait to find that out. If that's the case, then why isn't every terrorist out there dead? All the ones that they brought to justice, all these mass shooters. I'm talking about Dylan Roof. I'm talking about the dude that did the Colorado City shooting.
Hey, just the other day in New York.
Terrorist from that guy?
It was a shootout.
Yeah, and he shot back. He's still alive.
Because it was a priority to keep him alive.
Why?
But it's not a priority to keep us alive.
That's outrageous.
My
thing is, even if I'm a cop and I consider myself, they're not even being like fair with their hypocrisy. That's what's getting me. Like, if I'm a cop and I want to kill the bad guys, why wouldn't you accidentally shoot the terrorist and then be like, he was reaching for a gun? Everybody will believe you.
Yeah.
If you kill a terrorist and you're a cop and you actually kill one of these mass shooting suspects, everybody's going to believe you. Everyone's going to be like, yeah, whatever, great. Yeah, lose the paperwork. We don't care. But like they keep shooting black people and being like, yeah, whatever. He was reaching for something. Like, were you kidding me? He was completely naked. He couldn't reach for anything. And they'll still try to make a story to make it stick. I don't understand it. I'm baffled.
We're all baffled, and everyone's like, what do we do now?
Yeah.
What do we do now?
Mm-hmm.
I got the answer, Sway.
Yeah.
Look.
What's the answer?
First and foremost.
What's the answer?
The first and foremost thing is, the police and these cover-ups, we need an independent investigator.
Absolutely. I thought that was the Justice Department.
Remember, we talked there, Tamir Rice, when they went for the indictment, was behind closed doors, and they talked about that the prosecutor, was in league with the police, and the reporter was saying that the prosecutor was pretty much defending the police about Tamir, so it wasn't going to go to trial because they were pretty much defending the police the whole time, and Tamir Rice's character went on trial, not the actual shooting of Tamir Rice.
Yeah.
So we need independent review, independent prosecutor.
Yeah.
The Loretta Lynch runs the FBI.
Yeah.
Maybe from her office, like something that where we can say, I trust you. We need the police. When something happens, they just kind of blue wall with the police chief made a statement. We will find justice.
Law enforcement in general.
But I can't trust it. You know how many police people when Eric Gardner was choked out looked at the video of Eric Gardner, and how many police people were like, that wasn't murder.
I'm blown. But also the thing is, so I used to watch a lot of UFC. I actually still do. And sometimes when you watch a UFC fight, the commentators can make you believe you're seeing something you're not seeing.
Yeah.
And I think that happens a lot of times with these videos. I think depending on what site you pick it on, sometimes you just got to not read anything and just watch it for yourself and determine what you see. Because even reading some of these articles, it could suggest something. Because one of my friends posted it, one of my Facebook friends, not my real friend, don't like him, don't like you. My friends, he actually posted, clearly he was reaching into the car, and I'm like, I didn't think that was clear at all.
No.
I saw 2 angles. I didn't see him clearly reach into the car.
He didn't make it to the car.
He made it to the driver's seat. He sure didn't. I didn't see it. This is my thing.
He didn't even touch the car.
Even if he did or didn't, my thing is it wasn't clear. There was no clear that he reached into the car. That's all I'm saying.
He didn't make it to the. He didn't touch the car. His hand was up the entire time.
That's what I saw. I thought I saw.
When he got tased, he got tased with his hands up. And
yeah.
when he got shot, he got he didn't touch the car.
Well, here's my thing. And why was the shot so close to him being tased? That means y'all didn't even try.
No, did not.
I'm baffled. But, like at this point, I'm not even angry. I am baffled.
But here's the thing now.
Okay.
What's gonna happen? I look at.
She's already on paid leave.
Yeah. But remember, the guy who killed Ohitsbigron only got 2 years.
Did he go to prison?
For I think 18 months or something like that.
How much was it suspended?
Here's to solve this problem, you need allies.
Okay.
Right. You need your allies, and I know a lot of white people who say they want to be there, but you need an event that kind of hits close to home.
Mm-hmm.
Let me give you the event.
Okay. Oh boy.
Stanford rapist. Wait. Hear me out.
Stanford rapist Brock Turner.
Brock Turner. He rapes this woman.
He does.
He's caught raping this woman.
Yes.
He goes to court.
Mm-hmm.
The jury does their job and they convict him.
Mm-hmm.
The judge takes mercy on him. Justice was not served to that woman.
No.
The pain that she feels,
mm-hmm.
the pain that so many white people felt,
mm-hmm.
that pain of no justice,
mm-hmm.
what is the value of my life as a woman?
Mm-hmm. There it is.
That same pain that
yes.
Biden comes out and says, I feel for you as a woman.
Yes.
And then everyone, not just white women, not just black women, not just women, but men too.
Yeah.
Everybody says, I feel your pain as a woman.
You're on to it.
To see that the guy was caught red-handed.
Yeah.
Red-handed.
Yeah.
And you did not get your justice. He went in and my car was in the shop longer than he was in jail.
Yeah.
That pain is what we feel. That same pain, that same pain.
He got out before the kids went back to school, dog.
So I'm not trying to make a comparison like which one is worse. No, I'm saying is that
empathy. That's
that same pain. The justice system failed all of us,
mm-hmm.
and it's going to continue to fail all of us
mm-hmm.
until we get together and we unite. Because
mm-hmm.
and I make another plea because a lot of my friends, my white friends who are women,
mm-hmm.
I'm very vocal, and I really appreciate that. And they get the comment. Remember the last thing I said last time we talked? I said, "What's step one? Step one is getting the conversation started on Facebook."
Absolutely.
And I have a lot of my friends who are women, who are white women, and women who are non-black women.
Mm-hmm.
They're doing a good job.
Mm-hmm.
I implore my friends who are white males because I know I have some good white male friends, some good guys.
One of them might be watching this show,
and I implore you to say something, even if it's just Facebook. Say something, because too much times, I know not all groups are monolith. I know not all white guys are just sitting behind here, behind their couch like ha, we rule the world. I know that there's a lot of people,
even the ones that aren't are benefiting from those that are.
But I'm saying there's a lot of people who want to say something. You might be nervous, you might be afraid, but I implore you to speak up.
Mm-hmm.
To say something. We are in Fairfax County, went to high school in this multicultural area.
Mm-hmm.
They know us, we know them, and this is not even a political thing.
Yeah.
I'm not even talking about Democrat, Republican, liberal, conservative. I just mean this is just what's right.
Absolutely.
And I implore my friends, to be an ally.
Absolutely.
In this fight that we call justice. In the fight that we call justice. Yeah. Sorry, I thought it was.
I absolutely agree. We need allies in this fight. This isn't something we could do on our own. We can't be the ones that are always upset about it. I can't be the one that's always doing a 10 minutes with Ronald. I'd love to see a 10 minutes with any of my white friends about helping us. And I think what's more frustrating is that, and you might have seen my post earlier, is that I know that there are some of my white friends that will post rants about what Colin Kaepernick did and say nothing about this.
Yeah.
And I think Rosenberg, the DJ from New York, said this. He was like, why won't y'all call out cops? Call out the bad cops. He's like, we're not asking you to rain on good cops. He was like, bad cops. This is what, if you see people behaving poorly, even when I see black people behaving poorly, I call them out. You know what I mean? When Raven Simone says dumb stuff, we call her out.
Hey, Whitlock, not Whit, yeah,
Jason Whitlock. We call him out. Like we get out of here.
I say this: when you have bad cops, make it unsafe for good cops.
Absolutely.
And I don't think people realize that maybe one civilian might be able to. One bad civilian might affect the life of like 2 or 3 cops.
Absolutely.
One bad cop can affect the life of many people.
Yeah.
Remember the one cop, which is the cop that was raping all these women? I think he raped like 19 women.
Yes.
You know, like
black women.
There are cops that hold communities hostage.
Yeah.
Like one bad cop can affect way more civilians than
Absolutely.
one civilian can affect one bad cop.
Absolutely.
So what I say is to say, we as a culture, we're always ready to put, the dead party on trial. Mm-hmm. We really need to hold these police people accountable. The law, the United States has a policy as if a certain crime is happening, then we toughen the laws.
Absolutely.
To prevent it.
Absolutely.
What we need to do is then to toughen the retribution that comes to these cops.
Absolutely.
When a cop knows that I killed somebody, he's like, whoa, like I've got a lot to pay. Like think twice.
But what about those that argue that now that you're crippling cops, you're stopping them from really being able to do their job freely if they have to second guess themselves? What do you say to those people?
I say we have servicemen who deal with that with more pressure.
Absolutely.
Overseas with more strict consequences.
Absolutely.
Overseas.
Absolutely.
And those people are the enemy.
Yeah. And we already know they're the enemy.
Yeah, we know they're the enemy.
Yeah.
So I will say that training is because they get the training, so we can train the law enforcement here.
Absolutely. Let's dig into some of these comments and see what everyone's saying. Let's see. We got mass potential. What's the call in? Unfortunately, I think you meant call it in. Oh, call again. Gotcha. Let's see. 30 minutes on 10 minutes with Ronald. Yes, this show never goes for 10 minutes ever. Regina, I cannot repeat that, but I see what you're saying. Let's see. I don't like watching those videos. I don't blame you, Richland. I do not blame you because I feel like it's definitely damaging to the psyche and every time you watch them. However, I feel like somebody has to, and I've elected myself as somebody. Unfortunately, I guess you have as well. And again, I feel nothing now. Like I can't. Hold on 1 second. Hold on. Let me see if I got a call in. My first call in. Yes, you're live on 10 minutes with Ronald.
Excellent. This is Max Potential. I'm calling in. Okay. To answer your question, I don't know. I had to stop watching so I could call in. So I don't know where you guys are in the conversation right now.
Okay.
To answer your question about cops or people who are saying that the cops are being crippled by having to follow more strict laws or for them being more strict punishments about them having fired a weapon or having actually murdered someone or during their job. I think the thing that it bothers me.
Wait, they can't hear you. But I'm gonna have to repeat everything you're saying. Hold on. It'll get feedback on the mic.
Okay, cool. No problem.
Can you turn the volume up a little bit?
Oh, let me see what I can do.
The one thing to remember is
No, it won't work.
They're at work. These cops are at work. They have to practice. They have to train. They have to pass tests. They have to do a good job. They're at work. They're getting paid to do their job well, and they're not doing their job well. So they need to be fired, and people who can do their job well need to replace them. I'm just a human. I'm not getting paid to live. I'm not getting paid for my car to not break down. I'm not getting paid to put my hands up. You are. So the responsibility is yours. If you don't know how to take somebody down, how to control somebody without murdering them, you suck at your job.
Yes.
That's it.
All right, thanks. I'm gonna take you out. Thanks, Mass. Tune back into the show. That's Mass Potential, my partner, back on Talking Loud, saying nothing. That's absolutely right.
Yeah.
Like you have to do a better job. You can't just expect that. Like people. Like I think that's something I've said too, and I've discussed this with Mass Potential a lot. It's very, very important that we hire people that are competent and able to do their jobs. We understand it's a difficult job.
Yes.
Get better people. Like you can't just get backwoods people that only need an associate's degree in order to be cops.
But that's why cops get so much praise because they put themselves in the line of danger, right? Mm-hmm. But it seems like right now the way they're approaching it, they're not putting themselves in danger. They're putting us in danger.
Absolutely.
So sometimes I question what's that praise?
Yeah, absolutely.
It's in the approach.
Sorry, I'm laughing at Mass Potential.
Oh, yeah.
He's still saying it's your job. Yeah, you only have one.
It's the approach sometimes. You know, if my car breaks down in the middle of the road,
absolutely,
and I see a police officer, I'm like, hey, can I get some help?
Yeah.
If he pulls his gun out, you're like, holy shit. And at this point, I
Family
swear to you,
show.
I'm sorry, you're like, holy cow. Ronald, at this point, if the cop pulls their gun out and you are black, it's a wrap.
That's it.
There's no turning back.
Yeah.
It's a wrap. Because I've watched videos where you got the people's hands have been up for all day long.
Yeah.
All day long.
Yeah.
And the cop still got him like, yo, hey, cop, can you put the gun down? I'm not a threat.
Yeah.
You know, hands up all day long.
People still get
Once
tased.
the guns go out, it's a wrap.
Yeah.
It's a wrap.
Yeah. Mask, chill, mask, chill. Okay, so I think it's important that everybody, let's see what everyone's saying. Maryland is saying take Ubers everywhere, don't go to dinner. I think that's one thing we can't do. We can't live in fear.
No.
Like, I think you have to be cautious and you have to be aware, but you cannot live in fear.
No.
Because that is I feel like even if I were to leave today and I get shot by the cops, I'm not going out saying that I was afraid. You know what I mean? Now my hand's gonna be on the steering wheel. I may be talking slow. I may have all my hands out. They may ask me to do stuff. Be like, I'm not doing anything. Leave my hands up. But what I'm not gonna do is just walk out there and just live your lives. Like, you all still have to live your lives.
We're free, right?
Yeah, we're free. And that's the thing. I feel like that's why I feel like sometimes black folks and minorities are more American than the Americans. Because I'm like, we're the only ones who have to actually struggle with the things that y'all think you struggle with. Mm-hmm. Like being a black person. Mm-hmm. All right, let's look at some more of these comments. Maryland says we are to be exterminated. That's tough. Looks like that's all of our comments right now. All right. Any final words? Any final notes before we let you go?
At the end of the day, I still have hope.
Absolutely.
The ball is moving slowly.
Mm-hmm.
These murders got to stop.
Yeah.
These murders got to stop.
Yeah.
You know, I had said before, you know, everybody wants to put the onus on minorities. Well, why can't we this? Why can't we that? We're not a monolith. Then we need to stop putting the onus on the system.
Absolutely.
Why can't cops do a better job?
Absolutely.
Why can't the system be fair?
Absolutely.
Because it's not just cops. It's the cops, it's the lawyers, it's the judges, it's the system.
Yeah.
Why can't the system be fair? We need to stop asking questions like, well, why can't you people? Why can't you women? Why can't you black men? Why can't you black women? Why can't you Asians? Why can't you homosexuals? No. Why can't the system?
Yeah.
That is what we need to say. Why can't the system act? Because people are not a monolith. People are going to do what they're going to do.
Absolutely.
But the system is a structure that's not supposed to change. Why can't the system? Why can't we change these laws?
Absolutely.
Why? We see what's going on. We see these injustices. Let's change these laws. It's obvious. It is so obvious. And it's crazy. Everybody wants to say, all these, you know, newscasters and whatever they want to say, you know, yes, you know, America has a history of unfair practices to minorities. They just say it as like a preamble to talking to something else. But let's address this. Yeah. Let's really address this.
Let's handle it. Yeah.
Let's hold the people accountable.
Yeah.
And let's realize. Let's realize. Like, let's realize racism when we see it.
Yeah.
You know, racism is there.
Yeah. It's real.
It's out there.
Yeah.
Let's acknowledge. You can't solve a problem. You can't solve a problem. You can't move forward. You don't acknowledge your mishap. Police department, acknowledge you guys have been messing up. Let's move forward now. But until they acknowledge, you're not going to move forward. Until when I go see when I saw I didn't hate to be like bipartisan, but I'm gonna be bipartisan. When I saw at the Trump rally and the cop comes out and he goes, "In good news, you know, all the jury, all the cops were acquitted in the death of Freddie Gray," and people are cheering raucously. I'm like, what?
Yeah.
Are we really cheering? Are you guys really cheering?
He's dead.
Loud? Yeah. Because you cops got off on a dead guy?
So who killed that man?
So who killed him? But you know what's going to happen, right? No one was responsible. We're not going to kill him. But, you know, here goes a check.
Yeah. They did the same thing with Sandra Bland. I think it's important what you said, that we have to keep moving forward. We have to keep our heads up. We have to have hope. We have to keep engaging in these discussions. I love these discussions, so I feel free to have them. Jahleel also loves these discussions. We love to have them. Before we go, we do want to do one thing, though. Jahleel, I'm going to give you a chance to plug your sauce one more time on my show.
Oh, yeah. So I'm the CEO and founder of Hudson Sauce. Hudson sauce is a low-sodium, all-natural barbecue
You only
marinade.
have 30 seconds.
So you can buy it at stores, www.hudsonsauce.com.
You had way more time than that.
Oh, you said 30 seconds?
Yeah, 30 seconds is a long time. Listen, y'all, Hudson sauce is delicious. Make sure you guys buy some. Hudsonsauce.com.
Yes.
He's also at farmers markets. Typically, if you mention my show, he'll give you
I'll give you a little discount.
He'll give you a little discount. So get some Hudson sauce for you. Other than that, I think that's about it for tonight. It's been a long 10 minutes. If anybody has any questions or anything you guys want to talk about further, feel free to inbox me. Catch me on the other show that I contribute to, Talking Loud and Saying Nothing, tlasn.net. Also, you can email your advice questions to tlasnshow@gmail.com. Once again, this has been another exciting episode of 10 Minutes with Ronald, the show that nobody asked for, yet somebody is watching. Thanks for coming, sir.
Thank you.
I appreciate it.